Okay, in this video I'm going to be talking about the front squat. The most obvious difference between a front squat and the back squat is the bar positioning. So on a back squat, it's on your back. In a front squat, it sits on your clavicle above your chest. So first of all, we're going to talk about bar positioning, and the way you can get it in the right position is by walking like a zombie. So bear with me. First of all, you're going to start this side of the bar, put your arms out like a zombie and walk forward onto the bar. So when you feel the bar pressing up against your neck, it may be a bit uncomfortable, but this is the position that you want to be in. Now your grip on the bar in this exercise will be determined by your mobility in your wrists and also how well stretched your triceps and your lats are. A lot of the time people say, I can't grab the bar, but it's not actually the mobility in their wrists, it is a tightness in the muscle. So ideally, you would want to grip the bar just outside shoulder width and have the ability to bring your elbows up like so. Now, if you've never done this before, you're probably going to struggle to do that and it's going to feel very alien to you. So I'm just going to walk you through different variants that you can use with your grip. If you can't get a full grip on the bar, try reducing it down to 2 fingers and you should find that you've got a bit more mobility and it'll be easier to lock that bar in. If you can't do it with 2 fingers, try going down to 1 finger, and again it just gives you a bit more mobility. If you can't do it with 1 finger, move over to your thumb. As you can see, this is a lot easier. Get the bar up against your neck, get your thumbs ready, and just lock it in like that. If you're still struggling with mobility, it may be that you need to get some straps involved. So these are just lifting straps. You'll see me use these again when we deadlift and for other things like that, but they can be very helpful when doing a front squat as well. So you just want to loop them onto the bar, like so. And as you can see, it's still the same positioning, but it just gives you a little bit more length to play with. So position it against your neck, and you can just use the straps to hold it like so. So there you've got a few different variants of how you can hold the bar. We're going to move on to how we're going to do this lift. I'm going to take these off just because I've got quite good mobility in my wrists. I've been doing these for a long time, but honestly, when I first started doing this, I had to take the bar in a position like that. I haven't given that as an option because when you go to progress this movement, that is not a good grip. Say you want to do a thruster, which is basically a front squat into pushing the bar above your head, you can't push it from this position. So I don't want you to do that. Okay, so let's crack on with this movement. So first of all, we're going to walk like a zombie until the bar's nice and tight up against your neck, and then depending on your mobility, you're going to grab the bar. I can do mine nice and close. So I'm going to lock that bar in, get a full grip on the bar, get my elbows as high as possible and lock that bar into my neck. Once I've got that bar nice and comfortable, push up against my neck and on top of my shoulders, I'm just going to lift it out of the rack and step forward. So again, similar to the back squat, your stance is going to be dependent on who you are and how your body's made up anatomically. So find a position that you're comfortable in, get that bar locked in nice to your neck, elbows nice and high so your triceps are parallel to the ground. And then this movement is actually initiated with the legs going forward as opposed to your bum going backwards. If you push your bum out and think about hinging at the hip, you're going to fall forward. What you want to do with this movement is keep your chest as high as possible, so you don't want to be initiating it with your bum going backwards. So once you've found a nice stance that you're comfortable with, again you're going to think about sitting in between your legs. So find the stance that you're comfortable, make sure your elbows are up nice and high. Initiate the movement with your knees going forward and lower yourself down, making sure to keep your chest up. Once you get to the bottom of the movement of which you feel comfortable, you want to think about raising yourself back up to the top. When you do this, think about leading with your elbows. This is going to help you keep your chest up as you return to the start position. So I'm at the bottom of the movement, nice and engaged. I'm going to lead with my elbows, keeping my head up, chest up, and return to the top of the movement. Like so. Again, with this movement, you want to make sure your knees are turned down. That's going to stop your knees caving in, and also it's going to engage your glutes. So, nice deep breath at the top. Lower your centre of gravity towards the ground. Think about leading with your elbows coming back up to keep your chest nice and high, and return to the start position. Once you've done that, got your reps done, re-rack the bar, take a rest, and then you're good to go again. Okay, so I'm just going to recap that movement, calling out the main points you need to look out for. So, first of all, the bar height is going to be positioned slightly lower than you would do for a back squat, and you want to walk up to it like a zombie and get the bar nice and tight to your neck. Now, how you grip the bar is going to be dependent on your muscle tightness, or muscle flexibility, and your wrist mobility. So, as I say, I've been doing this for a little while, so I'm able to get a full grip on it and really lock that bar into my neck. So what I'm thinking about doing in this movement is keeping my spine nice and neutral. I want to keep my elbows up so my triceps are parallel to the ground, and I'm going to lift that out the rack, keeping the bar nice and tight to my neck. So similarly to a back squat, we want to think about sitting in between our legs. So find a comfortable position, get your elbows nice and high, and before you start reducing your body weight to the ground, you're going to think about turning your knees outwards. Again, similar to the back squat, this is going to stop your knees caving in, but also activate your glutes and help you with the movement. So, knees turned out, we're going to initiate this movement with our knees, not our bum going out. If we push our bum out, it's obviously going to make us fall forward. So, keeping our chest nice and high, looking forward, elbows up, we're pushing our knees out, lowering our body to sit between our legs, and then pushing through our glutes as we return to the start position. Again, elbows nice and high, bar locked into our neck. Think about sitting in between your legs, keeping your chest up, sit in between your legs, push through the floor to return to the start position. Once you've done your allotted reps, drop that back into the rack, take a rest, and then do your second set. Tips. I've got a variation for this exercise. Again, if you're new to weightlifting and you've never done a front squat before, this one is going to help you. What you want to do is simulate exactly the same thing we did with the front squat with the barbell, but we're going to take a dumbbell. You want to get used to holding the weight in front of you, so set up exactly how I've told you for the barbell, but just take a dumbbell and hold it in front of you like this. Lower your body to the ground, sitting in between your legs, keeping your chest nice and high. When you get to your full range of motion, push back up, squeezing through your glutes, and return to the start position. This is an easier way of doing the front squat without having the bar sitting against your neck, because it can be uncomfortable and it can set you off balance. So, again, hold the dumbbell into your chest, sit down between your knees, making sure your knees are pointed out. Once you get to the bottom, push back up, keeping a neutral spine, chest out, and return to the start position. There you go. Tips.